Jey Uso turns heel, The Rock finally makes an emotional confession, JD McDonagh's controversial actions, Triple H has failed a 48-year-old legend, the WWE quietly cuts its ties with KnokX Pro amid a real-life assault fallout, Bayley steals Bray Wyatt's character, the identity of the security during Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed's brawl, nobody cares about Sheamus versus Rusev, why Jey Uso turned on CM Punk. Let's dive right in. The Rock finally makes an emotional confession. The Rock opened up in a raw, emotional interview with Vanity Fair, revealing that fear held him back from key opportunities during his career. Discussing his role in The Smashing Machine, he admitted to shying away from deep emotional acting roles in favor of big action parts. This new project pushed him out of his comfort zone, forcing him to confront feelings he hadn't tapped into in years. It was very real. I had not experienced that in a very long time, where I was really scared and thinking, I don't know if I can do this. Can I do this? I realized that maybe these opportunities weren't coming my way because I was too scared to explore this stuff, The Rock said. He explained that to become the best actor possible, he had to dig into his personal experiences, something he'd avoided on camera before. The Rock shared that he's never been big on therapy, despite supporting others' choices, and found the process of getting into character for this role both terrifying and liberating. You have to be willing to tap into all the stuff that you've gone through, and this was stuff that I had not explored on camera or otherwise. I'm not a big therapy person, even though I'm an advocate for whatever it is you need. I found it so scary, but also so nourishing and freeing. I ripped it open, he said. As for his WWE future, after his intense feud with Cody Rhodes and pushing for a John Cena heel turn, The Rock didn't mention the company at all. It looks like a return to the ring isn't on the horizon anytime soon. JD McDonagh's controversial actions. WWE fans were left stunned by JD McDonagh's antics at a recent untelevised live event in Newcastle during the company's UK tour. The Judgment Day clashed with CM Punk, LA Knight, and Penta in a six-man tag team main event. But despite their loss, McDonagh stole the show with a cunning move. During a heated moment, the Irishman whipped off his shirt to reveal a Liverpool FC jersey with Alexander Isak on the back, sparking a massive uproar. Isak, a star for Newcastle United, has been linked to a potential move to Liverpool, a transfer the local fans desperately don't want. The crowd's gasps turned into loud boos, cementing McDonagh's heat as a top heel. McDonagh leaned into the controversy, posting a clip on his official X account and cheekily urging Newcastle United to free Isak for Liverpool. The UK tour is building momentum for WWE's big weekend in France, with SmackDown hitting Lyon 2 nights before the Clash in Paris Premium Live event. Even after the Newcastle loss, the Judgment Day remains dominant, with all 3 male members holding titles. McDonagh and Finn Balor are the current World Tag Team Champions, while Dominic Mysterio has been Intercontinental Champion since WrestleMania 41. Dirty Dom could add more gold soon, as he's set to challenge El Hijo del Vikingo for the AAA Mega Championship at Worlds Collide. Meanwhile, Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez are gunning to reclaim the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship from Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss after losing to them at SummerSlam. Triple H has failed a 48-year-old legend. Last night on Raw, General Manager Adam Pearce dropped a bombshell, announcing that Dirty Dominic Mysterio will defend his Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles on next week's show in Paris. While the match makes sense given Styles' popularity with French fans, booking it for Raw instead of the Clash in Paris Premium Live event the night before has left fans scratching their heads. With only 5 matches set for the PLE, a high-stakes clash like Styles vs. Mysterio could have added serious firepower to the card, which is packed with big names but feels underwhelming. AJ Styles, nearing retirement in less than 2 years, is still delivering top-tier performances and compelling character work. A featured match at Clash in Paris, especially in France, seemed like a no-brainer for the 48-year-old legend. Instead, Triple H's decision to keep this title bowed off the PLE feels like a missed opportunity. Inside sources recently commented on a repetitive backstage segment involving Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano on this week's Raw. Finn Balor and JD McDonaghh spotted Dirty Dom chatting with El Grande, and when Balor questioned him, Mysterio brushed it off, saying he had everything handled. We head backstage, and El Grande Americano and Dominic. Bro, we've seen that 4 times. We've seen that exact same vignette 4 times. They should just tape one and keep replaying it. 4 times in a row we've seen that same thing. They catch them talking, I got this. Everything's cool, inside sources said on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw. Sources pointed out that this same interaction has played out for weeks, with the Judgment Day catching Mysterio talking to El Grande and him giving the same vague response. The storyline feels stuck, going nowhere fast. Later on Raw, Mysterio got involved in JD McDonagh's match against Dragon Lee. The referee caught Balor trying to interfere and kicked him out of the arena. Mysterio stepped in to help his teammate, but AJ Styles stormed the scene, laying out Dirty Dom with a vicious attack. This gave Dragon Lee the chance to hit Operation Dragon and pin McDonagh for the win. The WWE quietly cuts its ties with KnokX Pro amid a real-life assault fallout. WWE seems to be quietly pulling away from KnokX Pro after the shocking real-life attack on Psycho Stu by Raja Jackson, and fans have caught on to a subtle but clear sign. Following the violent incident at a KnokX Pro event, WWE's official WWE ID Twitter account unfollowed KnokX Pro, along with its owner Rikishi and head trainer The Black Pearl. While WWE hasn't made an official statement, this social media move hints that talks about cutting ties are already happening behind closed doors. The assault has grabbed headlines across the country. Raja Jackson, son of MMA star Rampage Jackson, went rogue, unleashing a vicious, unscripted attack on Stuart Psycho Stu Smith, hammering him with punches even after Stu couldn't fight back. The brutal moment was captured on video and spread like wildfire online. Douglas Mallow, an eyewitness, described the horrific aftermath, saying Stu was choking on his own blood and teeth, with multiple facial fractures and severe dental damage. Video evidence also surfaced showing KnokX Pro's AJ Mana egging Raja on, telling him to give him his F receipt. Rampage Jackson apologized for his son's actions, admitting Raja had no business involved in an event like this. Knox Pro called the attack a selfish, irresponsible act of violence. Raja now faces an LAPD investigation with potential criminal charges. Inside sources say the incident is a major talking point within WWE. There's been no official action taken by WWE that we have heard about, the source said, but it's been a topic of discussion within the company at a level I'd be surprised if the company didn't take some sort of action. With WWE quietly distancing itself online, all eyes are on whether they'll officially end their long-standing connection with KnokX Pro, one of their affiliated training centers. Bayley steals Bray Wyatt's character. Bray Wyatt was a fan favorite in WWE, celebrated for his dark and eerie character work that captivated audiences. His knack for crafting unique, haunting personas was unmatched, and many in the industry admired his creativity. Now, a WWE star is undergoing a bold character shift that's drawing comparisons to Wyatt's style. Former WWE Women's Champion Bayley has been appearing in cryptic vignettes for weeks, showing her battling multiple inner voices. On Sportskeeda WrestleBinge's Legion of Raw, inside sources discussed Bayley's new direction, likening it to Wyatt's iconic split personality gimmicks. They questioned whether WWE could pull it off with Bayley when they struggled to fully capitalize on Wyatt, who was considered one of the company's greatest characters. So let me get this straight, bro. Think about this, Chris. They're gonna do a split personality with Bayley when they couldn't get Bray Wyatt over. Think about that, guys. We couldn't get perhaps the smartest, most charismatic top 3 characters in the history of this company. We could not get this guy over. But Bayley is going to pull this off, inside sources said. Wyatt's characters, from the Wyatt family leader to The Fiend, were wildly popular, even if WWE's creative team sometimes fumbled his storylines. Despite those challenges, Wyatt achieved massive success over his decade-plus in WWE, winning the WWE Championship once, the Universal Championship twice, and both the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships once. He was building the Wyatt Six before his tragic passing. Bayley's shift into this darker, conflicted persona feels like a nod to Wyatt's legacy, but whether she can carry it as masterfully as he did remains to be seen. The identity of the security during Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed's brawl. The August 25th episode of Raw in Birmingham, UK, kicked off with a wild brawl between Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed that had fans glued to their screens. But it wasn't just the slugfest that stole the show. New details have emerged about the security team that tried and failed to break up the two powerhouses. At the BP Pulse Live Arena, Reigns and Reed clashed in a fiery opening segment, with multiple guards stepping in to pull them apart. Those guards didn't stand a chance, getting tossed aside like ragdolls as the fight raged on. Now, Fightful's Corey Brennan has spilled the beans on who those security extras really were. CBL, Sammy D, Tate Mayfair's Ethan Allen, and James Ellis, Brennan reported. These names belong to indie wrestlers from the UK and European wrestling scenes. Tate Mayfair's is a familiar face to British wrestling fans, while Ethan Allen has made waves in promotions like Catch Pro and Progress Wrestling. The brawl erupted after Reigns delivered a heartfelt promo about losing his titles, his bloodline, and Paul Heyman. He told the crowd he's not the same man anymore, only for fans to chant, "Yes, you are." Reigns responded, "Maybe I can be." That's when Paul Heyman interrupted, introducing Bronson Reed and declaring that Roman Reigns needs tough love, but it would be Reed, not Heyman, dishing it out at Clash in Paris. Reed grabbed the mic and fired a shot at Reigns. "I'm the Samoan your father warned you about," Reed said. The two tore into each other, brawling around ringside and in the ring. At one point, Reed tried to snatch Reigns' sneakers, but Roman answered with a Superman punch that sent Reed running. The real highlight, though, was seeing 5 indie wrestlers get a moment in the spotlight, even if they were just collateral damage in the chaos. Nobody cares about Sheamus versus Rusev. The upcoming clash between Sheamus and Rusev at Clash in Paris is set to be a brutal, good old-fashioned Donnybrook match, but not everyone's sold on the hype. Inside sources recently weighed in on Sheamus's Raw promo, where he took shots at Rusev ahead of their showdown. The feud kicked off almost as soon as Rusev returned to WWE earlier this year, with the two stars trading blows in backstage brawls for nearly 2 months. Frustrated by the chaos, Raw general manager Adam Pearce booked them in the match to settle things once and for all. But on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, Inside sources questioned why this rivalry matters at all, pointing out the lack of stakes or impact on either star's future. I'm gonna throw out a very simple question to you. This Rusev and Sheamus has been going on for at least 2 months. I'm gonna ask a simple question. Why do I care if either one wins or loses? If Sheamus goes over because he's the babyface, what does that matter at all? The sources said. Rusev's return saw him steamroll Alpha Academy's Akira Tozawa and Otis, before locking horns with Sheamus in this heated personal feud. On Raw, Sheamus cut a fiery promo, brushing off Rusev's comeback as irrelevant and cringeworthy. He challenged Rusev to bring his A-game at Clash in Paris, reminding him that he was a nobody before their rivalry began. Despite the intensity, the lack of clear consequences for the winner has left some wondering if this match will change anything for either star. Why Jey Uso turned on CM Punk? Jey Uso stunned everyone on Raw when he turned on his close ally CM Punk during the main event, shattering their bond. The Yeet Master and the best in the world had been tight on the red brand, but things fell apart in a chaotic showdown involving Punk, LA Knight, and Uso. At first, Jey and Punk teamed up to take down the megastar, but the Samoan star flipped the script, nailing Punk with a super kick and standing tall against Seth Rollins and others as Clash in Paris 2025 looms. Both Uso and Punk are set to battle in a fatal four-way for the World Heavyweight Championship at the upcoming PLE, alongside LA Knight and Seth Rollins. In these multi-man matches, alliances are shaky, and betrayal is almost guaranteed as everyone fights for themselves. With Clash in Paris drawing near, Uso seems to have embraced an every-man-for-himself mindset, dead set on recapturing the World Heavyweight Championship. In a backstage moment on Raw, Roman Reigns warned Uso not to trust Punk, hinting that the voice of the voiceless can't be relied on. The last thing you want to do is trust CM Punk, Reigns told the Yeet Master. Reigns' words clearly hit home, as Uso's attack on Punk in the main event showed. This betrayal could also mark a major shift for Uso, possibly signaling a heel turn. The Yeet Master has been a beloved babyface for a long time, but this attack suggests his heroic days might be over, setting the stage for a darker, villainous side. All eyes are now on Clash in Paris 2025 to see how Uso's actions play out in the high-stakes Fatal 4-Way title match. Jey Uso turns heel. WWE Clash in Paris 2025 is shaping up to be a massive international event, and with surprises expected, Jey Uso's recent actions on Raw point to a major heel turn after nearly 828 days as a fan favorite. The shift started when the Yeet Master attacked CM Punk during a wild main event brawl, a move that stunned everyone given their tight bond on the red brand. Despite Punk's ongoing issues with Roman Reigns, he and Uso had been close, but on the final Raw before Clash in Paris, Jey planted Punk with a super kick, leaving him down. This betrayal could mark Uso's first character change since turning face at Night of Champions 2023. Jey's heel turn could spark fresh rivalries and give him a bold new path on Raw, potentially setting up a heated feud with Punk down the line. For now, it's just speculation heading into Clash in Paris, where Uso will face Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and LA Knight in a fatal four-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. On this week's Raw, Roman Reigns pulled Uso aside for a serious talk, warning him not to trust Punk. It was not about making friends, but capturing the moment and locking in the legacy, Reigns told the Yeet Master, adding that this is what matters most, before ending with Uso's signature yeet. Many see Reigns' advice as the trigger for Uso's attack on Punk, pushing him toward a darker persona. The WWE Universe ate up this moment between the original Bloodline members, praising it as a strong step in Uso's character evolution heading into Clash in Paris 2025.